Aaron here, Rustic Traders, Brisbane, Australia, October 2025. Here to show off a bike that I scored just on the weekend. It's a Rocket Cycles from Brisbane. So this is not something super high-end or super duper, but it has ties to Brisbane history. And I do like Queensland-made brands of bikes, especially. So Rocket Cycles was started by a guy called Jack Pesch. Started Rocket Cycles in 1939 and ran all the way into the 1990s. So a long innings there. He was a junior cycling champion, and I believe in the 30s or early 40s, he held the record time for the Ipswich to Brisbane race, and it was on a fixed gear bike. So he held the record for that. So he was sort of well known at the time. His shop was on Petrie Terrace, which is Spring Hill, or about Spring Hill there, or the suburb itself is called Petrie Terrace there now. And so here's one of his branded bikes. Now, I know later on in his years, a lot of the bikes he didn't make them anymore. He would get second-hand bikes and re-logo them, repaint them, re-logo them as Rocket Cycles. Because actually I know a guy that bought a brand new bike from him in about 1993, and it was still like an old lugged roadster frame. And I mean, no one was making those in the 1990s, so it was obviously one that he had gotten and refurbished. And I've even heard stories of that he would have a fire out the back of the shop there and put old frames on the fire to get rid of the hard acrylic paint that was on them. So I haven't seen that officially anywhere, but a lot of these things that I talk about have come from old people that have known these people. Even a lot of information come from Terry Kay, the late Terry Kay, from the Gympie Bicycle Museum. He was a wealth of knowledge. And like always, when these people pass away, a lot of their knowledge is only kept on by people like us. So this bike was like a junior bike, a teenager's bike, or a small lady, because it's a 24-inch wheel on it. And the reason I'm showing this off, this was literally picked up on the side of the road by a scrap metal guy that I know. He knows I'm into old bikes. He contacted me. So this was just discarded as rubbish to the hard rubbish or the curbside collection, as people know it. Now, great little piece. I love the Queensland history. Always beautiful with the pinstriping. This chain guard, they came out on earlier Melvin Stars, and you can even sort of see that this chain guard is a bit big for the bike. So I know the Melvin Star Coronation or the Streamline came out with this exact chain guard, so it's possibly a Melvin Star chain guard. It's got the little oiler there, straight into the bottom bracket. So it's probably an earlier frame, sort of 1950s, I'd say, because they did away with the oilers later on for ease and speed of manufacturing. Also, it's got the aftermarket pump holder in there. You put your pump in there, lift that up, and pin it in between there and there. Another thing, probably most people watching this video would know, but a lot of people ask me when they see these holes in the rear guards, because sometimes you find them on a guy's bike too, because they've reused the guard. People go, what are those for? Why are all these holes drilled in there? Well, here we can see this one still has the original skirt guard on there. And you can see this little loop down the bottom here. That was hooked into that. And each one of those ran there. And what that was to do was to stop the lady's skirt from getting caught in the spinning spokes. Back when ladies wore dresses to ride a push bike, gone are the days, of course. But it was sort of a society thing about what people wore back in the day. I mean, you can see online early Victorian era photos of ladies dressed in full white, the full get up on a bicycle. So the problem for a guy was getting his trousers caught in the chain. That's why the guy had the little trouser clips, or he rolled up his trouser, and the women have the skirt guard going. And if you can still buy these around the place sometimes, I've got some new old stock ones. When they're looking nice on an old bike, they really do make it look cool. So this one, not one of the super high-end bikes that I've got, but I thought I'd show it off because interesting story. Came off the roadside on the weekend. Brandon, Joe Pesch with Rocket Cycles and Petrie Terrace. So just on the name Jack Pesch, some people might have heard the name the Jack Pesch Bridge. So there in Indooroopilly, the footbridge from Indooroopilly to Sherwood is named the Jack Pesch Bridge. So named after Jack from Rocket Cycles because of his contribution to cycling and to Brisbane. So great little score, and saved it from being a bit of scrap metal sold to China to get turned into something rubbishy, you know. Another one saved. Stay tuned.